We're on page 234 at the bottom. Page Samar Gimel on top. We are going to start. Okay, we're going to start 2, 4, 6, 8 lines in the top of the page. Okay, the last thing that the Rebbe was explaining is there's Avas Elam, love that comes to meditation into the world. There's a higher level than that, Ava Rabba, that comes as a gift, the love that comes as a gift from above. And then in Perak Memdalad, the Rebbe explains, now there's a level which is above both. There's a level above Ava Rabba and Ava Selim. And he says, what is this level? He says what it says in the Soya and the Pasuk, Nafshi Ivisicha Balayla. No, the soul, it says, you are my soul, I desire you at night. Okay, so it says it's a funny expression. So the Zohar says, what does it mean? That nafshi means like this, not that I long for my soul at night. It means like this, nafshi Hashem, you are my life. God, you're my life. If you are my life, then ivisicha balayla, I have a longing for you. I desire you at night. And here, Dr. Rebbe, this is where we're up to. This is what Dr. Rebbe says. We're going to start 2, 4, 6, 7 lines in the top. Therefore, if like a person is interested in just, he loves to live, you know, we want to live, we would love to live. Therefore, when a person is weak and suffering, what is this desire? That his soul should return to him. A person loves life, and therefore they want to live. Now, desire says, Nafshi, not my soul is what I like. Nafshi Hashem, because you are my soul, you are my life, you are my essence. Therefore, therefore I desire you at night. What does that mean? He said, when a person is going to sleep, what is he, when you go to sleep at night, what are you hoping? That you wake up alive in the morning. You know, God forbid, there's a lot of people who wake up in the morning. So what is the person when he goes to sleep at night? He says, Mis'ava, he desires v'chofetz, and he wants shatosh of nafshei elam, that his soul should return to him when he wakes up, right? That's why we say Maidani in the morning. We would thank Hashem that he gave me back my neshama, that I woke up, and not only get Shechzar to be nishmasi, as the Rebbe explained in Kuntas in Yonah Shopers Chassidus, that it means my Jewish soul he gave me back, not a Goyish soul or whatever. I got back my soul. So therefore, just like the person, Balayla, when he goes to sleep at night, he wants to wake up, that his neshama comes back to him because that's his life. So kach ani misava. So this is what the Zohar says, nafshi v'sich balayla. So the same way, I have a desire, the toiv and a lust, the erd ein baruch, to the revelation of Hashem, chai hachayim, which is the source of life, or amitim, real life. You know, there is fake life and there's real life. The pasuk says, it's in the Parshas Chanan, but when we take out the Torah, we say it every time. You are clinging to Hashem, you're all alive today. Okay? Hashem is the real life. Why is Hashem the real life? The life of a human being is not real. Because we learned already in other times in classes that the definition of real is eternity. If it's sometimes like this and sometimes like that, then it's not real. But the Rebbe speaks about that in Tanya Beinani, the fact that yes, the Nefesh Habamis goes to sleep when he davens, but after davening he wakes up. So therefore, even when he's davening, it's not really real, because if it would be real, it would be permanent, it would be eternal. A human being, before they're born, are not alive. And when they die after 120 years, they're not alive. That means even during the 120 years that they're alive, they're not really alive. Okay? What is real life? The definition of real life is something that always was, is, and will be. He was never born, because if you're born, that means it was a time you weren't born. What is the real existence in the world? There's only one real existence. Amitas in Motzai, the Rambam uses the expression, is only God, who is a self-existent entity. Nobody made him. Nobody gave birth to him. He always was, and therefore he will always be. He was, is, and will be in the same way, without any change. A person, the very famous Rabbeinu Bachai at the beginning of Chumash. Rabbeinu Bachai at the beginning of Chumash says, a tinnik, miyat shenelad, maschul lehisyabesh. Simply it means a baby, as soon as they're born, begin to dry up. What did they lose? What does it mean? Very simple. The second you're born, you are born with life and vitality for 120 years. When you're a day old, you only have 364 days left, or 353 if it's moon, whatever calendar you're going by. So the Rabbeinu Bachai said, what is he saying over here? Telling me a scientific fact. The Rabbeinu Bachai is saying that the real existence of a person is not the person, not the guf. The neshama is a part of Hashem, even though it says in many places the neshama is a nivra, but still the neshama is a part of Hashem. So just like Hashem always was, is, and will be, the neshama always was, is, and will be, and a certain level. So therefore, he says, what do I want? I want Erin so Baruch Hu Chaya Chaim, the source of life, Ha'amitiim, the real one, because again, it's the real definition of life. It always was and is and will be. What do I want? Lam Shichai Bekirbi, to bring it into me. The Zohar says, Nafshi V'sicha mean because you are my existence. At night, so to speak, in the Moshel of Gashmis. At night, I go to sleep. I want to wake up in the morning. I want to be connected to real life of Hashem. How? Through learning Torah, by waking up from my sleep at night, and the Torah is all one. And explain in a second. The boy by Nash. Okay, it says that a person, the Zohar says that a person needed to ask. He needs to ask the mercy of Hashem to get up in the middle of the night, middle of the night, to make an effort for pulchana in the service of Hashem until the morning. The Gemara speaks about David HaMelech like this, and the Gemara says the whole concept of Tikkun Chatzos, people should go to sleep and wake up at midnight, do Tikkun Chatzos, and spend the rest of the night learning Torah, because that is their life. In Chassidus it explains, Karbones are called Karbani Lachmi L'Ishai. We say it every day in davening. Doesn't say Karbanos before Mincha, say it twice a day. We read it in the Kriya and Rosh Chodesh. It's in Parshas Pinchas. As Karbani Lachmi L'Ishai. Hashem speaks about the Karban, the communal Karbanos. Karbani, my sacrifice, Lachmi, my bread, L'Ishai, for the burnt offerings. Why are Karbanos called Lechem, food? So Medrashim explain, Chassidus elaborates even more. Why does a person need to eat? And the primary food is bread. Lechem levav, the essence of food is bread in Torah. Why does a person need to eat? Because chas v'sholem, if you don't eat for an extended period of time, the neshama leaves the body. So what does bread do in essence? Bread keeps the neshama in the body. What keeps, Chassidus explains, Hashem in the world? Hashem kaviyach. In other words, why do we need bread to keep the neshama in the body? Hashem set it up that way, right? He could have made it we don't have to eat. Then we wouldn't elevate all the sparks, but Hashem has a lot of ways he could do a lot of things. Hashem could have made that we don't have to eat and we don't have to sleep. Why did Hashem make that we have to eat and sleep? Because Lamaila, in the heavenly spheres, Hashem says like this, I created a world. I created a world. I said, I created a world. But I need to be kept in the world. So therefore, what are korbanos? Sacrifices. That's the bread, lachmi. It's Hashem says, it's my bread that keeps me in the world. When a Jew brings a korban, when the Jews bring the communal korbanos, private or whatever it is, when they bring korbanos into the world, so then Hashem stays in the world. He has bread. He's fed. The neshama doesn't have to leave the body. The same thing, Torah is also called lechem. Luchu lachmu balachmi. Torah is called bread. We learned that. Torah is called water. Torah is called fire. Torah is called food. Torah is called a lot of names. So he says, what keeps Hashem in the world? Lamshiche bekirbi. What brings this level of Hashem to bring down, coming into me? He says that's Asik HaTorah, by learning Torah in the middle of the night when you get up to learn Torah. Because that shows that I want Hashem. How do you know that you really love somebody, that you want to be with them? Talk is cheap. Talk is cheap. Action is what shows love. Can you imagine a spouse tells their spouse, I love you very, very much, all the way up to the sky, but I'm not doing a single thing for you. That's it. I'm not doing anything for you, but I love you very much. That's hogwash. It's baba, it's baloney. How do you show love? Words are cheap. How do you show love? In the simple day-to-day things. You go out of they see that you go out of the way to them. They see that they mean more to you than you mean to yourself. Like he's soon going to explain. That is showing love. To say, Hashem, I love you, I love you, I love you. God, you're in my heart, a cardiac Jew. Too much pressure. If a Jew is only a cardiac Jew, there's too much pressure. God forbid, then get a heart attack. So much pressure on the heart, a cardiac Jew. How do you show that you really love Hashem? You want to be connected? There's only one way, by doing what Hashem wants me to do. Torah mitzvahs, not on my terms, on Hashem's terms. So that's what he's saying. This level of Ava that the Jew is attaining, and he says, this is not because I love Hashem, because he's meditating in the world Ava Selim. Not the love that Hashem gives me as a gift from above after I have this love. There's a deeper level of love. That I love Hashem because he is me, and I am me, and me and Hashem are the same thing. That love is greater, even the Alter Rebbe says, than Avas Elam and Avarabba. Avas Elam is what I meditate, so it's based on my intellect, how much I understand, and it's me thinking. Avas Hashem, what the Alter Rebbe is explaining, will be a nafshi v'sicha b'layla. Not my soul, I like you, because then it's redundant. It's an extra I in there. Nafshi, Hashem, you are my life. And therefore, I love you because you are my life. I want you to be in me. And therefore, I won't do anything which is against your will. Because we know, Chassidus explains, every sin is spiritual death. You're cutting yourself off from Hashem. So it's like suicide. Every Aved is suicide. Why does a person then sin? The Gemara says, Nichnas Beiruach Shtus is a fuller spirit. You convince the person you're still connected. It doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is, every sin, the smallest of sins that a person does is actually and literally, Chassidus explains, Avodah Zarah. You're denying the existence of God. Hashem is standing right over you and says, do it or don't do it, and you do the opposite. You are denying the existence of Hashem. So this love out there, and now the Alter Rebbe is going to say it's even a greater love. There's another level which is even greater love than that. Okay, so he says now, there's even a greater level than this. This is what's existing within every single soul within the Jew. As an inheritance from Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. What it says in Rayim is a part of the Zohar. This is likened kibral, like a child. He makes an effort for the sake of the father and mother. The rachem line, he loves them. Yatir more migamei v'nafshi v'ruchi, more than he even loves himself. I don't know if you can see it too much in today's kids, but you know where you really see this? Not the fathers. The fathers are hopeless. The Yiddish mama cares about her kids more than she cares about herself. Whereas the Zohar says a person is doing mitzvahs, Torah mitzvahs, because he loves Hashem more than he loves himself. First out, the Rebbe was saying this is love that nafshi v'sicha. I love Hashem so much because not something outside of me. I'm thinking about him and therefore I love him, or it's a gift from above. That's all external. Now the Rebbe says there's one level of love. You love Hashem because he is you. Hashem is you. And therefore it's you. It's not something external. And then he says there's another level of love that you love Hashem more than you love yourself. Like a child who strives for the benefit of the father more than the child does for himself. That's even a greater level. So now the Alter Rebbe is clear. We all have one father. Hashem's our father. So therefore we have that level. But who is such a person? Somebody can ask, Asher Olav Libe, who dares to presume to assume in his heart, to even think of 1,000 of Madregas Avas Raya Mehemna, the love of Moshe Rabbeinu. He says, how could this is such a lofty level that we love Hashem not only as much as we love ourselves, because he is ourselves, but even more than we love ourselves. So, I mean, who has the chutzpah, the Alter Rebbe says, to even think this? He says, Mikomakim, nevertheless, yeah, every Jew has that. And he says like this, Hari efetz kotzeu, a little bit of it, B'shemetz menu, even a little tiny part of it, Mirov tuvei v'orei, from Hashem's great abundance of goodness and kindness, okay, I'm going to explain something here before we see it inside. Now, the Rebbe is saying, and the Rebbe points this out in the lessons in Tanya, the Rebbe points out, the Rebbe says over here, this Ava, that he loves himself, Hashem is me and I love Hashem more. He said, that is Yerushalanu Me'aviseinu. This is inheritance from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Aviseinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Now the Alter Rebbe says that where does this come revealed? From the Raya Mehemna, from the Moshe Rabbeinu. That's not what he said before. It comes from the Avis. Before he just got to saying this level of Ava. Comes from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, Yerusha Me'aviseinu. It's inheritance from our forefathers. And now he says, how do we come to such a level? He said from the Raya Mehemna. from the Moshe Rabbeinu that every Jew has within him. So the Rebbe explained, very interesting, by the way, that it's there as an inheritance hidden from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Who reveals that within the Jew? That's the Moshe Rabbeinu of every generation, and the Moshe Rabbeinu that exists, the Rebbe says, within every single Jew. So in other words, that level of love of Hashem exists from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. That we should love Hashem as much as we love ourselves, not something external, because He is ourselves, and our life is Hashem. And not only that, even a greater level, we love Him more than we love ourselves. That comes as an inheritance from Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. But it's hidden. It says Mesutaris, it's hidden. Who reveals that to bring it out to the forefront? That is the Moshe Rabbeinu within every single Jew. So therefore, the Alter Rebbe is saying, you can't come along and says, how in the world can I come to even the 1,000th level of that level? But like Alter Rebbe is going to explain in the next chapters about that every Jew, we learned already, that every Jew has a Moshe Rabbeinu within them, and he said, so let's see it inside now. Melech Lawless Yisrael is shining to the entire Jewish nation, every single Jew, by the way, b'chol dar v'dar, in every generation. Kamesha Koseh b'tikunim, like it says in Tikkun Zayar, is pashtusa the Moshe b'chol dar v'dar. There is a revelation, a manifestation of Moshe Rabbeinu in every generation, l'anhara line, to illuminate it. Okay? So therefore, there is this ability of Moshe Rabbeinu within the Jew to reveal that. But he says, Sho'ara zu hi b'chinas hester v'helem gadol b'nefashos kol beis Yisrael. This level, this, if you think about it, to realize and to feel and to actually get it, that my life is really Hashem. That's my existence. And, you know, the Rebbe used to speak about this. People say, I need to go on vacation. Okay, you need to go on vacation. So you can go on vacation from work. Nobody ever said, nobody, a normal person at least, never said, you know, I'm sick and tired of breathing 24/7 for 20 years, 50 years, 60 years, 80 years. I'm sick and tired of breathing. Can't they go on vacation? Can't they have a vacation from breathing for a year? Let me go at least 2 weeks. A vacation. It never enters a person's mind. Why does it enter a person's mind? Because the person knows, I don't breathe, I die. It's not a vacation. I can take a vacation from something external. I can't take a vacation from something which is my breathing. And that's where the Rebbe always used to speak. You go on vacation, it's not a vacation from Torah mitzvahs. On the contrary, the Rebbe said, the fact that you're not at work, that means now you have more time to learn, or more time to spend with the family and to do, you know, to do proper things. So he says that level is like breathing, and he says, okay, and now the Alter Rebbe says something that's going back to the beginning of Tanya. The whole Tanya is based on the pasuk Kari v'lecha davar ma'id. It's very close and easy to serve Hashem, thought, speech, and action. So the Alter Rebbe says like this: this level is hidden in the Jew. So 3 lines from the end of the page. To reveal and to bring out this Ava, Hamasuteres, which is hidden. Mehel and Behester. It's a double expression of concealment, because one is a concealment and one is a very big concealment. To be close in your mind and heart. Laying the place is not wondrous. And it's not far. It's very easy and close for a person to do this. So the Alter Rebbe is coming now, so to speak, wrapping up. He's not done wrapping yet, but the Alter Rebbe is wrapping up. But he started the beginning of Tanya, And he said, the pasuk says it's not really close, it's very close. And Alter Rebbe says, how can you do it? It's very difficult to say to constantly 24/7 think God, thought, speech, and action 24/7, and it's close. So the Alter Rebbe explains that a Jew has a neshama, and a Jew has Avos Hashem and Yiras Hashem, and this is all part of his makeup, and they're born with it, and this Yerushim Aviseinu, and you have the whole inheritance, and every Jew, no matter who you are, has it. And it's revealed through the Raya Mehemna. And he says, therefore, all you have to do is reveal it. You don't have to create something new. In other words, the diamond is there. It's covered up. Like the diamond's in the ground, they're covered with dirt. So what do you need to do? You have to dig it out. Compared to what you're going to get after the digging is nothing. Think about it. I'm going to dig deep into the ground and get $1 million of diamonds. Yeah, so the digging was hard. But look what I'm getting because of that digging. So the same thing a person realizes. This is my life. Hashem is even more important than my life. Okay, we're Hashem's children. We care about our parents more than we care about ourselves. So it's very easy just to reveal it. The Hainu meaning, top of the page of 126 or 236 at the bottom. The Yisrogel al Shene, that it should be a constant on his tongue. V'kele and his voice. Le'eder kavanas libe umeche, to awaken the heart and the mind, the intent. Lahamik machshavte, to delve your mind. V'chaya chaim ein tzav baruch hu, in the source of life which is Hashem. Ki avinu mamishu amiti, because he is our father that gave birth to us. Umakar chayenu, he is the source of our life. In other words, our life, he is the source of our life. And to awaken the love of Hashem, ka'avas haben elav, like the love of a child to a father. And then Alter Rebbe says, when you constantly do it, it becomes hergul nasateva. Habit becomes nature. So the Alter Rebbe is saying, and by the way, the fact that Alter Rebbe says that it's easy means it's easy. Because the Rabbeim opened up the channels. I mentioned in the past, in Gemara, you usually have the expression Amar Rab Yehuda, Amar, whatever. In Zayar, you always have the expression Patach Eliyov Amar. It's Pasach Eliyov, we say right, Pasach Eliyov Friday night. That's part of Zayar. Pasach Eliyov Amar, Pasach Rabbi Yosef Amar, Pasach Rab Meir Amar, Pasach Rab Shimon Amar. All over the Zayar it says Pasach. Now, what does it mean? Pasach Rab Shimon means he opened. Pasach means open, and he said, "What did he open? What's the opening here?" So Chassidus explains when Rab Shimon Bar Yochai or Eliyov Amar or wherever it is, they opened up the channel that now everybody else could do it too. Once they opened the channel is open. I'm going to conclude now with a famous story of the Beis Yosef. The Beis Yosef, the great author of the Shulchan Aruch, okay, very, very great. He had a malach that used to come learn with him. He had a very difficult question learning. Very difficult. And he worked weeks and weeks to finally get the answer to the question. Got the answer to the question. One day he's walking through a Beis Medrash. People are learning. Somebody asks his question. And the teacher answers on the spot the Beis Yosef's answer that took him so long to figure out. Beis Yosef was much, much greater than that rabbi. And the Rabbi Yosef Karo, the Beis Yosef, couldn't understand how is that possible? He knew who he was. He knew he was a much greater mind, greater neshama. And he said, I worked weeks, and this guy got it on the spot. So the Malach that came to him told him, he asked the Malach this question. It wasn't an ego trip. He just said, I don't understand how it works. So the Malach said, like the angel that went with him said, there are less aspects in Torah that are in the heaven. They're still up there. They didn't come down yet. Your greatness and your effort for weeks brought that aspect of Torah down into the world. Once it's in the atmosphere already, anybody could pick it up. You brought it in already. You did the work. So the fact that the Rebbe is saying you could do it, that itself is giving the courage that we could do it. Okay, everybody have a great Shabbos. Mitzvah Monday night, Parsha, 8 o'clock. I hope everybody has a good Shabbos. We should hear good news. We should stay fireless and all good things.